talk about your freshmen, Tyler Page, and Case Medlock, and Hayden Howerton, how you thought they played, and what went into the decisions to burn those red shirts?
Well, those three guys have earned a lot of playing time through their hard work and training in fall camp. We just felt like those guys would give us the best chance to win, and we wanted to play them early and get them some experience so that, you know, throughout the course of the year they're ready to go. That they're not just coming out there, you know, fresh, I guess, in the middle of the season, not ready from a standpoint of getting the reps and getting some experience built up. But thought they did okay. You know, they made some freshman mistakes, sure, but from a standpoint of that was their first college football game, I thought they did really well.
So what makes you more proud of the offensive line? The one quarterback hurry allowed, or the 240 rushing yards blocked for?
Well, I told y'all going into the game that was very, very excited about those guys up front. Did they play perfect? No, but they played exceptionally well. I think a lot of it with the hurry, you know, the lack thereof hurries was just their defensive scheme. They're only rushing three guys, so I don't want to put the cart before the horses just yet on that, but. I am still very excited about what we got going on up front with our offensive line, and then you know, rushing the football. That was our #1 goal going into that game. You know, again, they got a three-man front, six guys in the box, going to be able to run the football, and really challenge them and our running backs as well to do just what we did. And I thought those guys took a lot of pride in their preparation. They really got themselves ready to go. And we were able to run the football at will like we wanted to.
What have you seen from UNT's defensive scheme first game of the season?
I mean, I've seen a lot. I mean, we watched their game from last week. We watched a lot of what they did last year. Defense coordinators knew, so you know, it's kind of one of those things where, you know, did they show a lot of things that, you know, they did last year, and they're going to have a whole other plan for us. So it's kind of one of those first games again, you know, so to speak. I know Lamar was had a lot of things going on, a lot of things on their mind going into the game, and so you know, we'll see. We got a good plan already. I feel really good about what we did yesterday and today already as a staff from a base game planning standpoint, and we'll have to treat it in the game like it's the first game and see if there's anything adjustments-wise we need to make throughout the course of the game, and really just staying patient and seeing what they're gonna do to us.
You've been with Chad since his time at Clemson. How have you seen him evolve as a coach since that time?
Oh man, that's a good question. He's always been Coach Moore's. You know, he hasn't changed in terms of him as a person. I think he answered the question really well. That I think he's. It's been hard on him to kind of give up the offense, I know. But like he said, he's still around. He still helps game planning when he can. And I appreciate that because I know he brings a lot of knowledge from an offensive standpoint. And but I've seen him really focus on the culture more so. And I think, you know, that word gets thrown out a lot in this day and age of college football. I think a lot of people talk about it, but I think we really are about it. He's brought in several different guys that we've put in front of our staff, in front of our players, talking about our culture, and I think that we are one of the staffs or one of the teams in the country that really not only talk about it, but we really try to be about our culture, not only from a player standpoint, but it's also on us as coaches to live that culture every day. So I don't know if I answered your question or not, but I mean, Coach Morris has always been Coach Morris. He hasn't changed a whole lot, but I do know that he's done a heck of a job as a head coach thus far to this point, in building our culture and establishing our culture and not deviating from the plan. He's on us all the time. Don't deviate. If you see somebody mess up, get on them. Don't let anything slide. And I think he's done a really good job with that.
Has there been a moment the last 3 years where you just kind of knew the team bought into the culture?
Yeah, there was a particular moment actually last year going into fall camp. where we had a long meeting one night where we had a lot of guys get up and talk, and a lot of our players get up and talk, and that, at that moment right there, I felt like that night we had turned the corner. Even though we went 5-7 last year, I thought that night really did, really stands out to me, and I think if you ask any of our other coaches, they would say that same thing, that you really saw our culture coming out in our kids, and that they really found out that they really bought into what Coach Morris had been preaching a year and a half leading up to that night.
What was it that they talked about that night?
Well, each guy had a portion of our culture to get up and talk about. You know, Matt Davis got up and did a heck of a job. I remember him. I remember a couple of the seniors getting up and just sharing what that part of our culture meant to them, and it was a night that when it was over, we were like, man, we don't want this night to be over. We wanted it to keep going, but it was already like 11 o'clock at night, 11:30 at night, or something like that. And we had practice the next day, so you know, we went in, and that next day we were like, man, we're going to look back on that night and remember that one.
Anything else for Coach?
What do you want to see? You know, as Xavier's kind of knocking off the rust last week, where do you want to see him take the next step this week?
Well, I think, again, just from a long layoff from last year, I think, you know, he had a good game. I think he'll be the first to tell you he wanted to do better on some things. And some things wasn't his fault. You know, some things we had to run through that was on the offensive line, and then we thought he wasn't patient on one play where we found out, looking back at the film, that he was patient. So just getting back in a rhythm, just getting a feel for it. I mean, when you miss a whole year, you can practice all you want to, you can rehab all you want to, but until you actually get out there and start getting back to it, you really don't know what you got. But I was just pleased, and too with him, you know, it's a mental thing with his hamstring. You know, just when you're a sprinter, I wasn't a sprinter, but I guess when you're a sprinter, that's always in the back of your mind, and that could happen. And just from a mental standpoint, not mental toughness, but just that mental block, so to say, that thing could still happen any moment, and he don't want to miss any more time. That's his biggest thing. It's just mentally finding a way to just get over that deal and just keep pressing forward, and trust that the doctors and trust that the trainers and everybody are on top of it, and they know exactly what they're talking about, and just getting through that. I think that's the biggest thing I want to see him do, because he's fine. You know, like I said last week, he's 100% ready to go. It's just that mental part of it that's really tough on him. But you know, I think I would be the same way. You know, if I missed a whole year, when you're a competitor like he is, that's hard. You don't want to do that. You don't want to miss a whole another year. And so just getting through that mental block, I think, is the biggest thing for him.